Okay. All right, let's see what we have here. Well, straight up, Ten of Pentacles. And the High Priestess. There's like a massive blessing coming through for you, like a massive, um, a massive level of abundance, material abundance that's about to hit you. And the High Priestess coming on below here is, for me, read as something you've actually you've manifested, you've brought through. Ace of Swords, yeah. There's like a real divine intervention of action happening here. There's like a something's coming through to really shift things for you in a big way, in a powerful way. Five of Cups. Are you going to be able to receive it though? Is what I get. Yeah, there feels like there's this massive opportunity. There's this massive windfall of blessings and material stability and abundance coming for you. It's kind of wrapped up in this interesting formation here though. So I read this as like you might be stuck looking at something that's not working. You're caught looking at situations or experiences, even like a business I'm getting, that has not worked, you know? And you're not mourning it, but you're still looking at it, being like, if only that had worked, you know? Da-da-da-da-da. Meanwhile, like, if you just turn your perspective a little bit, there's this massive blessing here for you. There's this divine kind of intervention that's happening to propel you into this abundant place. Get some more clarity here on what's happening. King of Cups. The Devil. And Four of Pentacles. Wow. So for this, I get like you're kind of so attached to your stability, and I say that in like, you might say, hey, but I want stability, I don't have stability, but you're too attached to your current circumstances or what you deem as stable. And keep in mind, our mind and our soul works in mysterious ways. So when I say stability and what you're attached to, this could look like poverty for some people. This could look like really struggling and suffering, but they're attached to it. And I don't say that to cast all the blame or responsibility on people suffering. You know, that's a whole conversation. But this feels like you're attached to this perspective that you've got, this material perspective, your idea of how the world operates. And this could be good, this could be bad, this could be mixed. But this idea of how the world works and how, you know, material like funds greet you, how you spend your money, how hard you have to work to receive things, what your lifestyle looks like. This is like your idea of the material world, and you're gripping it, you're attached to it. There almost needs to be a destruction, the Devil here is almost like saying like, hey, you're chaining yourself to this place. It's kind of holding you in this this fixed position, this moment that you've been trying to escape and evolve from and receive more from, but it's your cage, it's your prison that you've created for yourself. King of Cups here says like you're content in this. There's like an inner peace, or like an inner kind of almost like, as much pain and suffering and sadness you may feel within this kind of situation, you come to so much perseverance and resolution within around your life and circumstances that it no longer is like fluctuating your emotions, which is a good thing, but it also is like preventing, I guess, the motivation or the idea that this is maybe not the best thing for you, and maybe there is more for you to kind of go explore, or a different path to receive. Maybe you don't have to suffer or work as hard or fight as much to receive this. And in fact, you don't have to do any of that to receive. But this is like this idea that's coming through. Now, this new abundance that's coming through, this is like everything you've ever wanted. This is like you're going to feel so whole within this. But yeah, that first thing is like, are you going to be able to receive it? And I don't want to put that on you, but I feel like there is some inner work that needs to happen. Ace of Cups, yeah. There's an offering here. There's like such a beautiful kind of like abundance and outpouring and like expansion of your life that's like here for you. And I want to say you are ready for it. It's just whether you're going to look this time. Because I feel like might have happened a few times. Maybe without your knowledge, because this is like on the cusp and this has just been repeating. But if you felt like, I'm about to do it, and then things don't happen, and you're like, again, and then you like work hard again, and then, it doesn't happen again. That's because you're in this cycle. That's because you're in that space. The star. Yeah, there needs to be a remembrance of your inner power. If you can connect to your soul, if you can connect to the higher place outside of the physical realm, you can then finally understand the power that you hold. And you might be like, yeah, I know that. But you need to remember that during your days. You need to remember that when things get tough. If you know this and then something happens in the physical and you're now in survival mode and being like, oh my God, and you're there for, 2-3 weeks, months, years, whatever it is, and then you remember again, beautiful, but you need to recognize that this needs to be a constant, this recognition, this understanding of how powerful you are and how powerful your soul is. That needs to be the forefront. That needs to come higher than the material. And it's not to discard the material, it's to hold them in unison, right? Often what happens is we attach the material and this kind of gets discarded. Or we think of this every now and then. Or at the very least, maybe some people put it below the material. This needs to come up here and say, hey, this is more powerful than the physical plane. This manifests and creates this. And when we can kind of join them in unison and kind of hold the God and devil, so to speak, of ourselves and in the world, we can start kind of harmonizing and creating more abundance. The moon. Yeah, so this is a reflection. This is something, again, it feels like you're aware of this. It feels like maybe you've gotten here quite a few times before. And it's like asking you to this time, it's like, because I keep hearing like, well, how is this going to be different? I've heard this a million times before, we'll keep going in circles. The difference is this, right? And so it's like the old fable of like, you become enlightened and you go on a journey and you go searching, and then you don't reach true enlightenment until you're returned back to the place you once came. So this is recognizing that like, hey, your life can look the same, but it'll feel and you'll perceive it so differently. As long as you remember you're the star. And when you come into harmony with that, life starts to unravel and show you new and magical things when you can begin to harmonize. And it's less of like an escape of the current circumstances and more of like a truer embodiment of it while remembering your power. It's not becoming a slave to it, but it's becoming like a co-creator with it, right? So this is a big reflection to sit with. And the Fool, yeah, it's really asking you to like come at this in a new energy, right? So the Fool is a beautiful card. It's like you have no preconceptions of the previous world or your life or who you are or anything. Can you be that? Can you allow yourself to shed the past, however many years you've lived? Can you shed all of it and just be the Fool? And then what you might find is what remains is the star, is this inner soul. And then the ego and the personality and the material world can can shift and shape, and it's not to rebel against them or to say they're evil. They're beautiful. Each part of that is gorgeous. But when we become too attached to those things and not recognizing, you know, the beauty that is us, the infinite possibilities that is us, and kind of looking at the world as the full, as a fresh eye, we get stuck, we get trapped. So sit with this. I think you know what to do. I think it's just allowing yourself now to do it, right? And it doesn't mean go and work hard. It means, can you surrender to life, to what's unfolding? Go just have a conversation with it. Ask life, hey, I've just had this reading. Can you give me more insights? What does this mean for me? See what happens. Much love. All the best. Take care.